They say motherhood is a journey, but let's be honest, sometimes it feels more like a roller coaster with no seatbelt. I bet you're like me, wondering why babies, or teens in my case, don't come with instruction manuals. Welcome to This Incredible Mom Life, the podcast that celebrates the beautiful chaos, quiet wins, messy moments, and everyday miracles of being a mom. I'm your host, Dummy, wellness coach, mom of 3 boys, and a passionate believer that you don't have to live at the mercy of PMS, burnout, or exhaustion. Join me every week as we hear the craziest and most unbelievable mom stories. I'll be sharing the huge accomplishments and triumphs of both our moms and their kids. We'll giggle, cheer on the kids, and discuss obstacles and lessons learned along the way. If you are struggling to be the best mom you can be, how open-minded are you to booking a free call with me? You don't have to live at the mercy of your cycle, and you definitely don't have to do it alone. Give yourself permission to let me be part of your support system. I believe that you weren't meant to just survive motherhood. You were meant to thrive in it. We are back to another episode of This Incredible Mom Life, and I have another supermom guest with me today. Julia Jerg is a mother of 2, movement architect, and feminine leadership guide devoted to restoring maternal sovereignty, embodiment, and legacy through her global platform, Sovereign Mamas. She is the creator of the Sovereign Mamas podcast, curator of the international book anthology Secrets of Sovereign Mamas, and host of immersive retreats for women and mothers. Through storytelling, embodiment work, and community building, Julia supports women in remembering who they are beyond roles, conditioning, and survival. Her work bridges motherhood, leadership, nervous system safety, and legacy creation, empowering women to lead, parent, and live from sovereignty. Thank you, Julia, for taking time out of your busy day to be here with me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you are joining us from Bali. So
I am
she is up early in the morning for us, ladies.
bright and
All
early, but
right.
I am an early bird, so you wouldn't see me as brightly in the evening. So this is great.
Well, we're glad to have you. Thank you for waking us early to join us. Let's jump right in. Tell us who you are a mom to.
I'm a mom of 2 beautiful boys named Niklas and Vincent. They're 6 and 8, and yeah, they're fantastic little creatures.
Yes. They keep you on your toes, I'm sure.
They do, yes. And currently I have them at home with me. So we're shifting routines. I'm doing a little bit of homeschooling and designing our days as we go through the weeks. And yeah, it's a new, not really new. We've had it before last year, but it's clearly different than when they go to school.
Yes. Yes, very different. Reminds me of the COVID days when we were all home homeschooling.
Yeah.
Well, share a crazy story about your boys.
Okay, so I was sitting with this for a long time, and as you probably everyone can relate, there's so many crazy stories, and then I was thinking, what is the crazy story, which is the one that makes it? But I think I'm gonna go with one that might be not as funny, but it's really raw and real, and what I stand for as well, and sharing the behind the scenes that maybe never really get out there. And so I had the most beautiful pregnancy and early, the first 2 years with my eldest. He's 8 now. And I just thought, okay, this is it. This is what mothering means, and what a boy and and all the baby stages until 2 years old mean. And so I was crazy enough to say to my partner back then, their father, let's have another one so that he has a sibling, right? I was probably still under the, breastfeeding hormones and everything. And then his brother came literally 2 years on the day after, or on the second birthday of my eldest. And it was a complete different story. The pregnancy was different. The birth was different. And yes, having him in our life changed my perspective on everything, like especially on motherhood. And when I now look back, and he's 6 now, and I feel like now we're slowly getting out of this craziness. And I call it craziness because since he was born, he had these very raw, no, not raw, deep emotional roller coaster situations in the mornings. And I swear, in the beginning, I did not know what was going on because when he was a baby, screaming through the mornings nonstop, 2, sometimes 3 hours. And I thought something was wrong. And because I hadn't had that, like my eldest, just this peaceful baby. It was always just like, oh, okay, now I have to feed him. And you were already proud when you just got him, I don't know, food. And here I was confronted with a new challenge and I couldn't handle, like, I didn't even know what to do. And it wouldn't make him stop. It was just, now looking back, it was just riding it out with him, right? It was just like being there, holding space. And honestly, until he was 5, this was our 2-hour morning routine when he woke up.
Goodness.
Goodness, yes. And so I'm just sharing this side of motherhood with him because your next question is probably what did it do to you? And it is so easy to be a good mom when everything is fine, when everything is like smoothly and then you're proud of yourself and everyone's happy, right? And this is what motherhood is, right? You want to have everyone happy around you. And when there's clearly someone not happy, you gotta get creative and still be okay with yourself and still feel kind of like you're doing it, even though you feel like you're not. And he's he's had these moments and these arrivals into the day, and I'm feeling now he is more rapidly arriving into the day, and we've developed routines, safety rituals. We're definitely having the most incredible bond. We're definitely also involving his older brother in, creative ways of playing, in welcoming him as he is, the way he is. And so it's been challenging, no joke. I mean, this was really, really a tough everyday setup. But at the same time, it's kind of given me this backbone and yeah, different appreciation of the good moments throughout the day, right? And his sunny side, because he is the most incredible. Like if you now saw him, he's a sunny boy. He's always charming. He has loads of friends. He's always funny. But it's these morning arrivals that are just the crazy parts of motherhood.
And you said they're exactly 2 years apart?
Yes, yes.
Oh, that's cool.
That-
So my first two are 2 years and like 3 weeks apart, so very close in age. And my the second and the third are only 20 months apart.
wow.
And I will
Okay,
tell
so
you, the third one will be, is even more different than the first two. I felt like I was starting over again.
yeah, okay. I'm not
Um,
gonna experience that.
yeah,
That
no,
was
but
too.
each kid was different. Um,
Yeah,
and I
that's
always
true.
say, like, babies should come with an instruction manual.
Yes, yes, 100%. I don't know. Like this is it's definitely something that I always joke around and say, you are before motherhood, and then you feel like everyone who is already a mother knows it, but doesn't tell you that secret. And then you're in it and you're like, oh, had I known. This is how mothering is, and this is what it actually means. But yeah, I guess you can't really write that manual.
No, you can't. And
No.
every day it's ever evolving, I'm sure. So I know
Yes.
I'm learning every day, and I'm sure you are too.
Yes.
Even with teenagers, like every day something new comes up, and
Oh
now we're
my
talking
gosh.
about college applications and this and that. I'm like, oh, okay, this is new territory.
Yeah.
So it is ever evolving for sure. Um, Tell me a little bit about the growth. in your mothering and your motherhood journey in the last 8 years?
So what I feel is the connection to myself has been like visible because thanks to my children, I just had to stop and pause. I used to be a very dedicated to my career, to my I should say my passion because I've been since 2011. I've been now out of the system and traveling the world while making my money. This is like I used to be that classical digital nomad for a decade until then COVID started and made us stop. But I'm still pursuing the same passion, which is mentoring women and coaching women. And so I almost don't want to say this is my job because it doesn't feel like my job. I'm just like meeting with women around the world online and creating programs and hosting those spaces. And I would have gone probably exactly the way until today if it wasn't for my children. And I'm very grateful for that because now I appreciate, the pauses, the life more. I'm doing many more things that I would always say, oh, I don't have the time for it because I had a busy, long to-do list. I used to be like, yeah, meeting deadlines, creating new things, getting up very, very like earlier than now and doing things. And now I feel like my boys, thanks to my boys, I'm living a more um, balanced life, more present life, and so the connection to myself is the number one thing, and then to them, like over the years, they've taught me patience. They've taught me love on another level, coming back to appreciating smaller things and connecting with nature and fun and being on the ground and floor and playing and all these things that you might not experience as an adult if it wasn't for children. And so yeah, that's been
Nice.
really good.
That's amazing. Now I have a lot of mom listeners who may be wanting to start a business. So talk about some tips for the moms who, maybe they're working, they might be stay-at-home moms, but who might have this little idea in their head and they want to do something with it.
Yeah, so I have one tip, and that is do not outsource your authority. And what I mean by this is I see a lot of time when people are in the beginnings or also when they've started with something and then insecurity kicks in, then they suddenly say, "Oh, I need this new course, I need this new mentor, I need this program or whatever." And clearly I'm here doing this and obviously providing these services. But at the same time, a lot of times when you just tune into yourself and connect with what does feel good for you, like then that is the right thing for you. Because there's no, a little bit like mothering, there's no right or wrong, right? Yes, there's strategies, yes, there are ways, there's platforms, there's tips, and there's certain ways, proven things that have worked for other people, but this doesn't guarantee you that it will work for you. Yeah. So
Right.
this is just like a little no nuance. And then yes, of course, once you are like carving your offer out, your the journey, your people find you and come into your world and these experiences that you want to create for them, then of course educate yourself or get a guide and a mentor and fast track some of the things. You don't have to make mistakes along the way, but mistakes are always lessons too. So it's a balance, right? It's a balance. There's definitely moments where you feel, is that even it? Like you're doubting yourself altogether, or you're failing in one direction with one project or idea. But again, this just helps you clarify what's actually meant to come out into this world, and then stick with it. Like persistence, dedication. I've been doing this since 2011, right? And there've been multiple moments in time where I was like, where this little voice popped up in my head thinking, should you not just get a job, 9 to 5 clocking? Wouldn't that be much easier? And it would probably, because, entrepreneurship isn't easy. It's a full-blown personal development journey plus, you know, so many things, and you have to learn new things on a daily basis, and you have to show up for yourself every single day. And I'm not saying that you don't have to do that when you're in a job or you know, in an employment status, but when you are an entrepreneur, and especially like in a specific way where you show up and want to share your gifts, and this is how I work. I help especially moms with the odd man who always comes to into my world, then you're actually monetizing your soul gifts. And this is a very specific way of working because it's dear to your heart. You probably have never dared to get this out into the world, and you consistently think, and you are so conscious, like so self-aware that everyone is watching you. And then it's like an artist basically. It's creating art online while also trying to make a living from it. And so, yeah, it's challenging, but it's so worth it. And it's definitely something that I can only highly recommend.
Nice. So find something you're passionate about, right? Because that makes it easier. Take the mistakes as a lesson.
Mhm.
Um, Definitely get the mentors. So I'm fairly new to being an entrepreneur, and I always say it's like learning a new language,
Mhm.
because there are so many things that I had to learn, words and softwares and this and that, and it's like, oh my, yeah,
It's a
it's
new
definitely a
universe.
journey, a self-learning, self-improvement journey for sure.
Yeah. And you know what? I think the deeper question is even how do we build lives that actually then support our business, or the other way around, the business that supports the life. Sorry, that's that's what I wanted to say. And sometimes it is through simplicity and alignment and nervous system regulation, where all these things that we might cut out or ignore or say, oh, I'll take care of this later. But this is like, if you really want to do this and are serious and want to do this for the long run, then you have to do this from the get-go, building foundations and a good hygiene when it comes to a morning routine, your mindset, your spirituality, your everything. And I'm not kidding, like even your diet and exercising is part of being a successful entrepreneur, right? This guarantees you sustainability. Otherwise, you'll be just burning yourself out. And
Yeah.
no funnel, no strategy will save you anyways.
Nope. So that is my story. So I just wanted to heal my own physical symptoms.
Mhm.
And once that happened, I was waking up refreshed. I had so much more energy. I had all this mental clarity. And when I had all of that, then I was able to start the business,
Yeah.
because I would have never been able to do it if I hadn't healed my own symptoms and my fatigue and exhaustion and everything else. I wouldn't have had the energy, the clarity, or anything to pursue the business. So that's really neat. Um,
Yes.
Now you help women writers, you help them to share their story. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so being a manifesting generator as a human design, I don't know who's listening is familiar with this, but this means in my case, I clearly do choose to have multiple balls in the air. And I'm not recommending this to everyone, but if you're like me, then this is possible. So I have this one business where I'm just, helping and supporting moms with business creation, funnels, strategy, feminine embodiment, um, and then I've created another brand 2 years ago, or 1.5 years ago now, called Sovereign Mamas, and this has the podcast. This is like a book series, and it's a platform where I want to give the opportunity, like a stage. It's more like a through this global movement, I'm creating a media platform, and an embodiment ecosystem to actually help women restore their feminine leadership, maternal sovereignty, and building a legacy. And so I do this through the podcast, books, retreats, and through a program called Sovereign Spirit. And that again is just like this anchoring in and knowing that the truth is, if you haven't done the inner work, if you're not in alignment with, your true purpose, and if you're not the sovereign self, then you also are not going to be able to lead your mission or carve out your legacy or build a business that you're passionate about. And so this is basically like the flagship of this Sovereign Mamas movement. And yeah, I'm very excited because our first edition of Secrets of Sovereign Mamas is just out since Valentine's Day. And 11 women from around the world have contributed a chapter to this book series and this first edition. It's called The Remembering. And it's been just so beautiful to see how not only, these chapters have been a perfect like combination of different angles of motherhood and entrepreneurship and spirituality, but also how these women have, they came into my world also through the podcast. I connected with them. There was nothing other than a feeling that they are the perfect authors for this book, this first round. And then each and every one of them delivered such a like I'm getting goosebumps. They delivered such a high transformational story that it's not picture perfect, and it's also not the goal of these book series is this book series to show the polished version of your success as a mother or as a business owner. No, it's actually the raw and these unfiltered details behind the scene that never really get light shine shown out. This is not English, but that never really have an opportunity to be seen. And so each time when someone submitted their chapters, I was in tears, and it was such a beautiful project. And they said how healing the process for them was writing down their story in this angle, because they might have been, they might have published a book before, they might have spoken on stages or in podcasts. And for some of them, it was just this fact that they've never presented their story in this light. And for some of them, it was the first time sharing it all together. And then this in itself was so healing. And yes, so I'm very grateful for just being the curator of this and having the opportunity to let others speak and be on stage with their story. And yes, so that is now an ongoing, we're publishing 2 books a year just with this intention of not producing a product. It's more like creating a lineage and healing lineages and creating a legacy, I should say. Yeah,
Nice. I love that. That you can share not only your own story, but stories of so many other women.
exactly.
And that it's not a linear path, right? I don't think anyone has success in a linear path. It's
No, no.
sideways, backwards, upside down, all over the place.
And that's exactly it. And I'm sure you're feeling this with your podcast as well. Like every time someone comes on, or every time, someone is on my podcast or I'm reading these stories, it's a confirmation that we're all in the same, like, no, I'm not the only one having these thoughts. Oh, there's another one who's describing my life. And this is my mission. I want the world to like rewrite this paradigm that you have to choose, or that you're awkward or you're weird. No, we are. Like this is part of motherhood. Yes, it's fun. Yes, it's beautiful, but it's also challenging. And it's also this and that. And when we normalize things, then others can step up and say, okay, all right, it may be difficult to, build a legacy and lead a family, but it's doable. And these women are showing it, and we are capable. And if there is like this true passion, not only passion, but also this true sense of I'm here for more, then yeah, then I hope these stories will encourage you and inspire you to go for it.
Nice. And if you are ready for more, Yulia has both a Facebook group and a program called Sovereign Codes. So you want to talk about those?
Yeah, so the program is Sovereign Spirits, which is my paid masterclass, but I'm gifting everyone who is interested in to just like dip in their toes in it's an audio series called Sovereign Codes, which is a three-part. You can listen to it whenever, and it's basically a transmission to anchor you back into your sovereignty, and so that you can lead with clarity and receive with ease, and parent from a grounded power. And it's for any mother who feels she's lost herself and wants to remember who she truly is. So yes, you're
And a
more than
very
welcome.
common feeling that is. I know I talk about loss of identity all the time,
Mhm.
and I felt it myself. So I know what it is like to lose your identity and to find it again.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
If this lit a little spark in somebody, where can they connect with you?
The easiest way, we're on all platforms, but if you type in sovereignmamas.com, that's our website, and then you find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and yeah, all the places.
Amazing. And I will put all of those links in the show notes so people can find you easily. This was so inspiring.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. Thank
Me
you,
too.
Julia, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Are you struggling to be the best mom you can be? Are you fatigued, overwhelmed, and stressed out? Are you losing precious time with your family because of PMS? If so, sign up for my free gift on how to start living in tune with your monthly cycle. The link to get it is in the show notes below. Use this guide to help you start to eliminate your symptoms of PMS, increase your energy, reduce stress, and fully enjoy this incredible mom life. The way I see it, you have three choices. You can try to figure it all out on your own. You can do nothing and stay where you are, or you can get the customized guidance you need to thrive as a mom. The choice is yours. Thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something from these stories. If you enjoyed this show, please make sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share this podcast. It really helps this show grow. If you have a mom story you would like to share, click on the link in the description below on becoming a podcast guest. Remember, the content on this podcast is for general information only. It does not replace any medical advice given by your healthcare providers. Please check with your doctor if you have any questions about your specific condition and before starting any new diet or exercise regimen. Thank you, and you